Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. This is the video of the explanation of chapter The Civic Life in Pakistan. Civic means Shahri Zindagi, Pakistan. Now the first topic in the chapter is democratic government. Now before starting the democratic government, we should know what is mean by democracy. Democracy is called the people's government is called the democracy. It means that government of the people, it means government of the people, by the people and for the people. In democracy, people have the major share to run the state through their elected representatives. It has two concepts, Western democracy and Islamic democracy. Now come to the first topic, democratic government. Democratic government is that kind of government in which power and civic responsibility are exercised or running by all adult citizens directly through their freely elected representatives. Democracy rests upon the principle of majority rule and individual rights. Fair, frequent, and well managed elections are essential in a democracy. Now, the next topic that we have, number 2, on page 169, that is with the heading Democracy as Freedom of Expression. Izhar ki azadi, democracy. Freedom of expression is a core value in the democratic process. Core bunyadi iqtar, core value. It ensures people are able to discuss, exchange and debate ideas. आज़ादी के साथ अपने ख़यालात का अपनी तकरीरों से सबसे इजहार कर सकते हैं, डिस्कशन से, तबादले से इजहार ख़याल कर सकते हैं. The human right allows individuals and communities to find information which is important to them and share it with others within and share it with others without censorship, without any cutting or omitting something. Now the next topic that we have, number 3, with the heading the functioning of a democratic government. What are the function that a democratic government has to do? Democratic government, which is elected by and accountable to its citizens, protects individual rights so that citizens in a democracy can undertake their civic duties, obligations and responsibilities, thereby strengthening the society as a whole. Now, the next topic that we have, the rights and duties of citizens. Now, in this, we will discuss separately the rights and as well as the duties of citizens. First, we have to discuss the rights of citizens. That everyone knows that the residents of a city is known as citizens. So, as the citizens of any of the city, they have some rights and some obligation duties as well. Now, the rights of citizen or civil rights. Civil rights are the political or social freedom and equality. Now, we are discussing some, now I am explaining in points what are the rights of citizen or civil rights. The first heading is personal freedom. Personal freedom means it is the right of the citizen to be free in its thoughts and deeds. Whatever the thinking that they have, whatever the deeds they can do, they have the free hand right that they can do anything but in limitation according to the law, provided they do not harm others. It is his right to enjoy freedom. He should not be arrested without proper justification. He has the right to moor and resides in any part of the country. He can go anywhere for trade, employment, or recreation. He has the right to adopt any profession. The next heading that we have that freedom of expression and religious freedom in terms of rights of citizen. Freedom of expression in sense that every citizen has to enjoy his freedom of speech and writing so that he can express his views, but his views should not against the state. Each citizen has the right to adopt any religion. Now the third rights of a citizen or civil rights with the heading access to education and health. It means that as education is a basic requirement, so it is necessary that all people have access to education. It is the duty of the state to provide primary education to all its citizens. It is also the duty of the states to provide health facilities to the people. Rights and duties always run side by side. Citizens have many aids but also some duties. Citizens should perform his duties for a better society. Now we have the next heading that the duties of a citizen. We discussed the rights of citizen. Now we are discussing the duties or obligation. Obligation are called the duties of citizens. Now again, as the residents of a city is called the citizen, we have some kind of obligations as well. The first duty or obligation as a citizen is respect for law. As a citizen, a good citizen, our prime duty, our priority is to respect for law. If he obey rules and regulations of country and respect for law, there should be a discipline in a country. Patriotic, hubbul watni, watan se mohabbat. Patriotism or patriotic means love for your country. Each citizen should be ready to sacrifice his life and property of national defense and survival. कौम की बका और दिफा के लिए अपनी ज़िंदगी और प्रॉपर्टी की क़ुरबानी को सेक्रीफाइस करना, क़ुरबानी देना. Now the third heading is that we have as a duty or obligation of citizen that we have to curse the drugs, that it is the duty if a citizen to play an important role is eradicating the curse of drugs and other intoxicants in the country. The next heading as the duties of citizen, loyal and faithful. A citizen must be loyal and faithful to the country. He does not work against the national interest. Now safeguards the rights of others. As a good citizen, always we have to safeguard and or protect the rights of their citizens. If he is honest to himself, he will be honest to others as well. He is always honest in business and professional dealing as well. Now these were the duties or obligation as a citizen. Now we have the next topic that we have the role of individual Now we have the next topic, the role of individuals in society. That the role of individual as a the role of individual in a society. As we are that as we know that if we are living a life in any of the place, we can't lead our life in isolation. We must have to meet our needs as a member of the society. Each individual has such requirement of life to meet, that he is bound to lead a collective life, that he must have to meet others for their needs. He can't live in isolation or to cut off from others in a society. So he must bound to lead a collective life. The collective life is means that living with and working for others. Or you can say that each individual has a kind of anything of society. It means that he has to lead a collective life. He is important only as a member of the society, and in separate or individual he is nothing in himself. Our great philosopher Allama Iqbal has rightly said about it that an individual survives not in isolation but in national report ताल्लुक़ या मेलजोल. You and I survive only through collective or social interaction and are reduced to a not by avoiding it. Not कुछ भी नहीं, nothing in ourselves. Now, as an individual, the role of an individual in a society, that the welfare of any society that rests upon the it's the duty of it's the responsibility of an individual, that he must have to fulfill his duty for the welfare of any society. Each member of a society want to lead a life of comfort and prosperity. Everyone want to lead a life of comfort and prosperity, खुशहाली. And in this sense, he wants to make progress as well. But in a good society, no person deprives others of their right for his welfare and progress. And he harms no one, and make no one suffer by his doing. He release all duties with devotion and hard efforts enjoined on him by the society on collective aspect of life. The collective life that we discussed earlier means living with and working for others. Every person must have a full perception or concept of the fact that it is only through high character that one can contribute to collective welfare and has to work for it, for the society. So we must have to show due respect to all individuals, and all the people who belong to our nation should live like member of one of our family. It is the duty of every individual to help and have a look or check balance the growing trend of drug addiction among our youth. We must have to stop the drug addiction that anyone can indulge in it. So we must have to help to stop it. Now the next topic that we have, law and freedom. As we know that we already discussed the democratic government, so people can enjoy a lot of freedom, and the lives and properties of theirs are also protected. But the freedom doesn't mean that they can do whatever he likes. No, and no one can stop or question about it. So this kind of behavior, if he will do whatever he likes, or no one can stop or question about it, so this kind of behavior would destroy the social peace. So each individual enjoy freedom, but in a provided laws of the land. So whatever the laws and rules and regulation that the court, that the country's laws that they have, they must be bound in for their freedom. The persons, whatever they are doing within the bounds of the law, also guarantee freedom. The law determines the limits of freedom. Freedom is rightly used when one knows its limits. If a person knows its limits, so he can rightly use his freedom. The freedom and laws are interrelated. They are with each other. One is nothing without other. The freedom becomes dangerous in the absence of law, so it is our duty. It is the duty of each individual to have blind faith to laws, now it is the duty of each individual to bind himself to laws, and to keep his activities, whatever the doing they have, within the legal limits. Whatever the laws or rules or regulation that they have, they should be in those limits. Some people do not realize their responsibility and work against the government or social. This kind of behavior destroys the administrative order of the country. Accordingly, laws are made to suit the circumstances of the country, and people must have to follow the rules. In the rules, it is the rule that they have some kind of boundaries of mutual relationship, and also laws explain that how one can go in this regard. The laws put limits on individual freedom so that no one could cross the rights of others, or to crush the rights of other by taking advantages of his freedom. Now, the next topic that we have, disobedience to the law, or you can say the corruption. First, we should know what is corruption. Corruption means, now the previous topic was law and freedom. Now we have the last topic, disobedience to the law, or this disobedience to the law is called the corruption. Now, before starting the explanation, we should know first what is corruption. Corruption means to do illegal work, गैर कानूनी काम. Corruption takes place when people in authority break the law to benefit themselves or favor someone. Corruption creates complete disorder in society. We must cooperate. The government agencies are working to stop the corruption in our society. Now we should know what are the effects that the harmful effect that we have from corruption on the society. Now we are discussing some harmful effects of corruption on the society. So one of them is more payment for the electricity. This kind of harmful effect arises when some people use electricity without paying bills. So citizens are responsible for creating corruption in society. So we have to pay more for electricity. The second is the harmful effect that we are discussing, explaining, of corruption on the society is injustice for the deserving students. It means that some of the students do not get the result whatever they deserve in an examination. So they become disappointed. It's all because of the corruption on the society. The third harmful effect of corruption is shortage of money for the national project. Due to corruption of high official government does not get the money, due to corruption of high official government does not get the money needed to build more school, roads and hospitals. They have the shortage of money due to corruption. Now the next harmful effect of corruption on the society is more accident on the road. Due to corruption, more accidents take place on the road due to poor conditions of roads, and still the roads are not maintained. Now the social and moral damage to society is also the effect of corruption. Corruption is very big evil, is a kind of evil. Due to it, there is complete moral and social damage to society, and a society may not be proper in working. Now the next harmful effect of corruption on the society is, the last one you can say, the increase in lawlessness. If the people living in a society do not obey rules and regulation and violating the rules or break the rules, so they are responsible for corruption. When corruption becomes a trade in society, so it is very harmful for society. At last you can say that corruption is very big evil, big social evil, you can say. This has to be omitted or eliminated from the society. It is very harmful for the peaceful society. We must take some steps to end corruption from our society for a better society establishment. Now, in this way, the government had made proper rules and regulation, and different institutions such as National Accountability Bureau that made to stop corruption, Federal Investigation Agency FIA, Provincial Anti-Corruption Department PACD. These different institution the government has made to stop the corruption at federal and provincial level. So being responsible citizen, it's our duty to keep safe and make conscious our children, our youngsters, our family member about this curse, because corruption has a big deal or challenge for us. Thank you.